Hi everyone, Brittany Brown here, founder over at Beating Binge Eating, and I am here with Sara. Sara, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Okay, so Sara has actually been graduated from our program for over a year, and so I'm just ecstatic to be meeting her face to face in this capacity, and then also just share a journey from finding freedom from this 15-year-long struggle with binge and emotional eating, dieting, riding that kind of diet, overeat, repeat cycle that we all know so well since, mid-teenage years, to breaking free from with our program, and then, experiencing a full year after graduation and what that's meant for your life, Sara. So just really excited to talk to you and learn a little bit more. So before we talk about now and what everything looks like for you now, I'd love if you could take us back prior, what did that journey look like? What was the struggle like? Where were you before you jumped on a call with us?
Yeah. So when I first called and talked to Stella, who's awesome, I felt like I was such in a helpless state. I wanted to be able to embrace who I was and just love myself where I was and just have a natural relationship with food and eating and not have it be obsessive or having compulsive behavior. And it just felt like no matter how hard I tried, the harder I tried to do it and to stop those things, the more it felt like I had less control. And so with talking with her and realizing kind of that what I was doing was counterproductive to gaining that control. It was the harder I held on to these rules and restrictions and things, the more it was causing me pain and suffering in my life.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know that feeling all too well. It's kind of we go back to what we know, to those methods of control to try to control the eating, and then they make things so much worse. So you were in it, you were trying different things to break free, and nothing seemed to really last. And so, let's talk about, I'd love to know, where you were right after the program, what that process felt like, and then maybe a little bit about where you are now.
So right after the program it's really pretty much the same as where I am now. I felt
awesome,
really good after the program, and I just felt like this is something that I can actually do in my life. This is actually, because it's not a list of things that I have to adhere to, right? It's coming into myself and becoming myself. And that's just how I felt since going through the program, is that I'm learning about myself and how to listen to myself, and instead of listening to the rules, listening to my body. And that was something that I really loved from the program, is that you guys talked about over and over again, come out of your head and into your body. And that's exactly what it is you read all these books and you read, about all this nutrition, all these things, and you want to be perfect and follow all these, because that's the perfect way to be healthy. And just coming out of that and just listening to my body, it's felt like I'm united with myself again. And it's felt so good, and it's helped me to love and appreciate my body that much more. And so coming from that, it's really just been a year of practice and learning, and, being able to look at maybe I don't even like to call them mistakes, but just the things that have happened where I don't want to be there. And I've been able to look at that and go, okay, well, now I understand why I ended up in that place. So let's backtrack and let's change this and move forward in a better way. So it's just been really helpful to have this year to reflect on everything.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so what does that look like for your life? Because I know that freedom from the binge eating, more peace with food, building that connection with your body is beautiful, because we fight it for so long. But then like it does have an impact on our life. So I'm curious, like how have you seen things around you shift? I know your family and, you know, all of that. Have you seen anything shift there, or just like how you show up in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. Just not even having the obsessive thoughts about food all the time leaves me open to being able to spend more time with my family and just focus on the things that are important to me. And actually, I mean, it sounds so ridiculous when I say it, but I know there's so many people that have been there. But like, just feeling like I can actually have goals. Like before, it was like I was so preoccupied with like losing weight and doing that, I felt like I had to have that all figured out 100% before I could like move on to any other goals or any other thing in my life. And just taking that out of the equation, it's like that's kind of evened itself out, and without me even trying, and I'm still able to pursue the things that I want to pursue, and I mean, really feel like a complete person instead of I really just focusing on those thoughts that seem to have the control over you, you know?
Yeah, totally. So, and hello there. I see a little head like popping up in the corner. That's awesome. That's too cute. So, okay, so biggest takeaways, like tangible things. Like if someone walked up to you and was like, hey, what's the biggest takeaway you can tell me to like have it easy with food? What would your one thing be?
Oh, just one thing.
It could be more if you have.
I would say it's a combination of letting go of the rules with like really checking in and listening to what your body is telling you. Because, and I guess that really is just one thing, like just forget the rules and like listen to what your body's saying, because there's so many of these things that you follow it and like your friend would feel awesome. Like they're going to feel great eating that way, but you might feel like crap. And so you feel like, what's wrong with me that this isn't working? Like, these are the rules. Like, I'm following the rules. Like, this should be working. And just listening to your body, like when to eat, when you're satisfied. And then also just like what you desire in that moment, whether it's, something healthy, like food that feels like it's giving you more energy, or whether you're like celebrating and just having a good time. There's room for that in life now. And it's just such a relief to know that like food really isn't good or bad. It doesn't make you a good or bad person. It's not like you're a bad person if you don't, have the willpower to adhere to rules. That's just really been the key for me, is being able to realize that there's just so many more options and so much more leeway there.
Yeah, totally. I love that. I think that's incredible. And just really, I think when people are binge eating or emotional eating, like things like listening to your body, connecting to your body might feel just like so far off. But I know like for someone like you coming into our program, that might've been like, what does that even mean? And then, through the process of really like, it's really once you get out of that survival mode, right? Like once you get your body does, like, I guess I just like to hear confirmation, because when I say it, it's one thing, but like when someone else says it who's been through our program. So there is a phase in the beginning where it's harder to listen to your body because you're coming out of that like diet mentality. But yeah, so what happens when that survival mechanisms lift and like all of a sudden you can actually not be pulled to the food all the time? That like transition. Yeah. Can you describe a little bit of what that feels like?
So once you're in that place, it's like all of a sudden your body is speaking to you. And I know like before the program, I read up a little bit on like intuitive eating and stuff like that. And it just seemed like I don't even know like what that is, because I don't hear anything, I don't hear my body talking to me. And so after lifting that restriction, like that's why I feel like that's such an important thing, is you start to hear your body speaking to you more clearly. And it's not like a struggle to pull yourself away from the food. It's just like, I don't even want this. So it just makes everything more natural.
Yeah. And I think that's so important to talk about, because I feel like a lot of people will try to use tactics and try to use different tricks, but like their body's still pulled towards food. So at the end of the day, it's still coming from willpower. And a lot of what we do and a lot of what you experience is this natural connection that forms once you're out of that place where you're pulled towards food. So, okay. I love that. I love that. So, all right. So I guess like, that place when you're in the struggle and you're like Googling everything and you're seeing everything online, what would you say to anyone that's out there, maybe like coming across this video and they've never seen our work before, or, just stumbling upon our Facebook group for the first time or whatever that is? Any like words of wisdom or encouragement or anything like that for them?
Well, I would say definitely go for it, because like this program for me was so beneficial because of the light and the grace that was extended through the program. It was just about learning about yourself and just being there and feeling those feelings and learning from mistakes or just whatever difficulties you have. And it wasn't about a right choice or a wrong choice, but it was like really checking in with yourself and just being a partner with your body and being able to overcome that with your body on board instead of fighting your body to get to the place that you want to be. And so I just felt like there was so much goodness in the program that you can't help but leave feeling more love for yourself and more appreciation for what your body has done for you.
I love that. I love that. That makes me happy. Yeah. I always talk about it like as almost of a journey, like back home to yourself, versus this like thing where you have to change. It's like, it is a change, but it's not like a new person. It's like reconnecting back with like the you that knows how to eat and how to live and how to love their kids and their family and like all of that just gets blocked from conditioning and the food struggle and all of that not so fun stuff, and we've all been in. So, okay, well, this has been absolutely beautiful, Sara. It's been amazing talking to you. Any last thing you want to add? Anything you want to share about your experience? Anything you want to say before we wrap up for today?
Really just that life can be so much more full than the constant struggle against yourself every day. And just to anybody who is thinking about doing the program, if it speaks to them in any way, I 100% suggest that they just dive in and do it and just put their whole heart into it, even just putting aside any doubts that they might have or any questions that they feel coming up, because it's just so worth it being able to live every day without that fear and without that guilt and that shame associated with who you are or what you look like or any of the choices that you've made. It's so much worth that freedom.
Yeah. I love that. That's so beautiful. And yes, it's, I read a quote the other day. It's like, how does it say? I'll probably butcher the quote, but it's like, it's some people have no idea how good our bodies are designed to feel. And, I know that, that they're talking about more like straight up health in that quote, but I always think about it with like our work. Like there was a time in my life where I had no idea that the freedom that I have is possible. Like someone would have told me, I'd be like, that doesn't exist. I'll never be able to eat a French fry without wanting 3 bags of them or a cookie without wanting like the whole thing. I'll never be able to like go to a party and not be secretly drawn to the appetizers and like want to sneak them. And it felt like such a part of who I am. And it's not a part of any of us. It's just these patterns that get created over time. So yeah, I love that you said it. It reminds me of that. I think that people almost even have a small vision for themselves because they think that they're going to always have to struggle with this, and they don't have to. You're a testament to it a year later. So Sara, thank you for doing this. This has been incredible. It's been wonderful to connect with you a year out and just see you grow. And I watch your social media stuff and I love seeing you just like living your life with your family. It's so beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you. That you can have any feelings that you want right now and you just embody those feelings. Like, I don't have to be a size 4 to be happy or to feel attractive or to feel confident. That I can feel that no matter what size you are, no matter, you can feel that right now. You don't have to wait for some, moment to come and to pass and, to reach that. So it's been relaxing this past year. It's been nice.
That's great. Yeah. It's, and it's from you might've read it someplace else too, but it's from our stuff. Like, a lot of what people get attached to with weight loss is like how they want to feel at the weight. And so it's, how can we embody those feelings now? And yes, the weight can still release. It's not that we're anti-weight loss, right? But it's like, if I'm waiting for the scale to say a certain thing before I embody confidence, most likely once the scale gets there, I'm still going to not have confidence. Because I've been there before. I've been a fitness competitor and the least confident on my entire life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm with you. That's beautiful. And that's awesome. I'm glad you're seeing some of the like physical piece of it too. Cause I know that can be tough when you don't see that. So that's awesome.
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, it's like when I wasn't releasing weight, it wasn't like my frustration with it after doing the program was improved because it wasn't based on the fact that I wasn't releasing the weight, but it was like, I'm not as in tune with my body as I could be if I'm still, if I'm still in this place. And so it helped me really think about what I was doing and kind of, check in with myself more and get me to that place where I want to be. And I think that so many of these ladies in the program can still have that goal to release that weight and to do that, but it can't come from hating yourself. Like it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because then you're secretly restricting, you're secretly participating in even just a mental emotional restriction, which causes the overeating and it spirals it. Yeah. So I'm so with you. That's really great. And I do. That's why we don't say like, get rid of the weight loss, just kind of like put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And then, just focus on nourishment care. And so would you say for your weight release, it just came from really connecting with your body?
Yeah, it really did. And
trying to get the weight off is just really
no. Yeah, it just happened. I haven't been restricting. I eat more sweets than I probably should, but I mean, it's like, it's one of those things that I feel like I've been moving at a slower pace. I think that's what I needed, is to go little by little and just to take every day just singularly, and just try and be as authentic every day as I can. And it adds up, and you end up, those old like obsessive behavior, compulsive behaviors that you would, that many of us have had, that I've seen in the group about, snacking at night or, always wanting a dessert or things like that. Those disappear over time. And I think, you can't force it. I think it just happens the more that you check in with yourself. And